When a man showed up in court covered in dirt, clutching his daughter's crumpled science board made from scrap metal and cardboard, everyone laughed, until the judge stood up, walked down from the bench, and did something that made the entire courtroom fall silent. This is not just a story about a single dad and his daughter. It's about sacrifice, love, and how the smallest acts can carry the loudest echoes. Stay with us, because by the time you hear what the judge did, you'll never forget their story. If this story moved you, don't forget to like, comment, share with someone who needs hope today. Subscribe our channel Kindness Talks for more real-life inspired emotional stories. Marcus Wade had calloused hands and a heart that never gave up. In a quiet corner of Eastbridge, he worked 2 shifts, one as a janitor, the other rummaging through alleys and scrapyards for whatever could bring a few extra bucks. Life hadn't handed him much, but what he did have, he poured into the only thing that mattered to him, his 10-year-old daughter, Lily. Lily was a bright, wide-eyed girl who dreamed of being a scientist. Her room, barely bigger than a closet, was papered with cutouts of rockets, planets, and formula sheets torn from old magazines Marcus brought home. She didn't have expensive toys or gadgets, but her imagination needed none of it. One evening, she came running home, breathless. "Dad! The school's holding a district-wide science fair. The winner gets a scholarship to Redwood Academy." Her eyes sparkled with hope. Marcus smiled, but inside, his chest tightened. Redwood Academy was a private institution known for nurturing prodigies, but it came with a price tag that could bury a working man like him in debt. Still, he knelt beside her and said, "Then let's make something amazing." From that day, every break Marcus got was spent searching through dumpsters, scrap piles, and junkyards, dragging home wires, bent wheels, broken circuit boards, and cracked mirrors. His co-workers mocked him. "Building a spaceship from trash, Marcus," one of them laughed. Marcus just smiled. Late into the night, father and daughter worked by candlelight. He didn't know physics, but he listened to Lily explain capacitors and solar cells, asking questions like a curious student. Their bond was soldered in sweat, giggles, and the sound of rusted metal being reborn into possibility. They built a solar-powered water purifier model, basic, but brilliant. Lily even painted it with leftover house paint to resemble a mini-lab. They knew it wasn't flashy, but it worked. On the morning of the fair, it poured rain. Their project, carefully packed in cardboard and plastic bags, was soaked by the time they reached the school in their rickety second-hand bike cart. They stood beside polished models with flashing LEDs, sponsored banners, and even robotic limbs. Lily's display leaned to one side. Her paper notes were smeared. Kids laughed. A judge frowned. But Lily stood tall, explaining her purifier's purpose, to clean rainwater for kids in remote villages. Her voice trembled but held firm. Then came the verdict. Another student won. A boy from a private school with a project labeled AI Environmental Mapping Drone. Applause echoed, and Lily looked down, her eyes welling up. Marcus placed a hand on her shoulder. "You did something real," he whispered. The next day, Marcus received a letter. Hand-delivered. It wasn't from the school, it was a summons. The science fair committee had filed a formal complaint. Apparently, some of the wires in the project had been taken from a construction site's trash bin. Technically, they called it unauthorized salvage. He was to appear in court. Marcus stood in the courtroom wearing his only shirt with no holes. His hands were black-streaked from collecting scrap that very morning, trying to earn enough for Lily's school supplies. Lily sat beside him, clutching the mangled science project that now looked more like trash than technology. The room was packed. Parents from the science fair had come out of curiosity or contempt. The prosecution lawyer, a polished man in a navy suit, spoke with cold precision. This is a matter of property rights. Mr. Wade knowingly trespassed and retrieved material from a restricted zone. Marcus didn't deny it. He stood, his voice quiet but steady. I didn't know it was restricted. I was just looking for parts, for my daughter's project. I wanted to help her build something. That's all. The judge, an older woman with a stern face, glanced at the project Lily held. May I see that? Lily looked up. You won't laugh at it? The judge blinked. Why would I? Lily walked up, barefoot, her shoes left at home because they were soaked and falling apart. She placed the wobbly project on the bench and said, "It works. I made it with Daddy. It cleans water." He said, "Even if no one claps, we still built a miracle." The room went silent. The judge stepped down from her seat, approached the project, and touched the corroded filter. Then she looked at Marcus. "You're a janitor?" she asked. "Yes, ma'am." "And you built this from garbage?" "No, ma'am," Marcus said, glancing at Lily. "We built it from hope." The judge turned to the courtroom. This man didn't steal. He repurposed what the world threw away, just like he's repurposing his life, for this little girl. Tears lined the judge's eyes. Then something no one expected happened. She walked to Lily and kneeled. Your project wasn't just science. It was a solution. And solutions come from hearts that see beyond themselves. She declared the charges dropped. Then she reached into her pocket and handed Marcus a business card. I want you to meet someone. My brother runs a non-profit engineering school for underprivileged youth. I think your daughter belongs there. Gasps filled the room. The woman added, and for the record, this project, this purifier, wins my personal vote. As the crowd stood in stunned silence, Marcus hugged Lily, both of them crying. Later that week, the story made headlines. Judge overrules fair decision after janitor's daughter shows real innovation. Donations came in. Redwood Academy called. Lily got a full scholarship, not for her project's look, but for its impact. Marcus still collects scrap, but now, it's to teach other kids how to turn waste into wonder. They said her project was too simple. They called his collection trash. But they forgot, when love is the foundation, even the smallest parts can build something greater than gold. Share this story. Someone out there needs to believe that what the world throws away, can still change it.